Hi there, and welcome to a real quick build video. It's actually going to be more of a de-modernization of a house in the save file I'm playing the Ultimate Decades Challenge in at the moment. Because in order to just start playing that game, I went ahead and kind of just threw everything together, created a handful of townie households that could interact and show up places. But really, the entire save file is a work in progress as, the generations go on and as the need to go additional places comes up. So this house is actually the one that belongs to Bella and Mortimer Goth and their family in my file. And so we are probably going to have reason to visit them in the near future, which leads me to not want to break immersion completely and leave my 1300s off the grid home or the tavern that, got decorated to match and then enter a modern home. So we went through and deleted everything, putting in some very simple flooring and walls. I will say I'm not going to worry about making it off the grid or, anything super gameplay wise compatible and in line with the series, since I'm not planning on actively playing in this household at the moment. It just needs to look not like it belongs in modern day. So they also are very affluent compared to our family. They are definitely gentry or even higher. They own their own land. They have clearly quite a large house, interior, washroom, all the things. And so I'm allowing some of the furniture to remain in a much more ornate style than is probably accurate. Just because I'm figuring if they are so wealthy that it's fair, maybe they have really fancy stuff. The the furniture tones I'm also not going to worry too much about. The light fixtures, they look like they could have candles in them, so they're staying. Clutter wise, not really getting into too much. Just kind of making sure that the furniture pieces exist. Each of the kids have a room. Add a little bit more lighting. And then thought about additional activities and everything being over there, but other than a loot in Cassandra's room, I'm not going to do a whole lot. This back house, I'm actually just going to kind of throw a bunch of activity items and crafting into it so that can kind of be, separate from their main living area. But they have options there. And especially if my household comes to visit at all regularly in the future, maybe that can be somewhere that they get introduced to some of these other options for crafting or for, creation activities that maybe they wouldn't have been exposed to otherwise, staying on the farm or staying only surrounded by other truly low-level peasant families. And that rug just did not quite feel right. So, yep. The kitchen is the one room that does kind of get a decent amount of clutter. I don't know what it is about kitchens for me. Like, I understand that you need surfaces to be functional, but also it feels like the one room that if you don't have random items in it, it just really doesn't feel lived in. And that bothers me in a way that the other rooms in the house do not. So a lot of clipping. It'll be fine. It's also one of those things where could I do all the tricks to move things around? Probably. Was it worth it when we're going to spend so little time in this house? Absolutely not. But they clearly have excess food, just enough to just have laying around. And yeah, there's no rhyme, reason, or organization to the clutter items that I have available. Add a fountain. I think probably, yep, time to add some lighting because it's really dark out there. And a secondary bathroom space. For the life of me, I could probably have typed it into the search bar to look for the matching long range archery target, but it's one of those things that, once again, not really a priority. Give them the option for getting water and doing laundry. I feel like they would still have to do that, even if they potentially have the money to hire someone to come do it for them. And then, yep, going through, considering some final options, and here's what we ended up with as our de-modernized Goth household. Walk into a hallway where you can go into the sitting room. They actually have books. Over here we have the children's rooms, just somewhere to sleep. I imagine Cassandra playing music. The dining room, I actually did not touch anything from the previous iteration. It was already just like wealthy, older stuff. Almost the same with the bedroom. I just had to delete a couple items. Bathroom, very simple. And the kitchen, quite large. A little bit of a storeroom space. And it leads to outside. We forgot the trash can, but that'll be fine. A little courtyard area, the ability to hang out and play games. And then you go into the back house, and that's where laundry, crafting, and different activities are.